All right. Hello, everyone. Today we're going to talk about Core Web Vitals, SEO. I'm here with a friend of mine, Sasha. She will introduce herself in a bit, but she's working as a SEO, and I from Vision, a Core Web Vitals tool. I'm really curious to see how SEO people are working with Core Web Vitals and if they think it's important or maybe it's a little bit less important. Today we will find this out, and I'm giving the word to Sasha to make a short introduction of herself as well.
Hi, Jordi. Thank you for inviting me to this talk. I'm Sasha. I am an SEO manager at Yoyaba. That's a German digital marketing agency. We are focusing on the revenue marketing, and we've been working with Jordi and Vision for a while now, using the tool to help our clients optimize core vitals better. And today we're to talk about the specifics of core vitals and their impact on SEO. Excited.
All right, nice, thank you. Yeah, we've been working for how long is it? Like maybe half a year or something that we really started working on the
I
core
think almost
vitals.
a year, no?
Yeah, I think the conversation started earlier, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine. Like a year. And I've really enjoyed working with Yoyaba as well, if I pronounce it correctly. Internally, we always say Yoyaba. Uh, is there any meaning behind the company name, by the way? I always wondered.
Actually, you're one of the few who pronounces the name correctly. Yes, the goal for you. There is no meaning behind that. So
Okay.
when I joined Yoyaba, I asked the founder what it means, and he said like yo and ya means double yes, and ba means nothing. But I don't know exactly. I think it's just like a cool name. It really differentiates and stands out from the rest. It's nothing like,
Yeah, I
uh,
like it.
something that really implies that you do digital marketing.
Yeah.
Um,
And always
yeah.
when I see you guys on LinkedIn, I always see like this unicorn thing, so definitely killing the branding. But yeah, you mentioned you are working as a technical SEO manager, and yeah, that's really a role we see often working with web performance, core vitals, and therefore also often run vision. And it's also like, from my perspective, a really nice target audience to aim because developers oftentimes are really busy. SEO people might not know every ins and outs about core vitals. It's always a little bit different based on the type of SEO. And with technical SEO, I feel like core vitals is kind of a technical subject, has some matching with this. Is it right to assume that every technical SEO has a basic or decent understanding of core vitals? Is it also based on the efforts the person makes?
Actually, it would be very hard for me to assess this. I guess
Yeah,
you can really specialize in technical SEO. There are so many different topics there. Like let's not open the
yeah,
Pandora box of
too
the
much.
JS, for example. And I think some technical SEOs are also really technical. I don't have the developer background, for example, but I know
Okay.
that, like, of course, obviously there are roles that like SEO developers where they are really going deep into the technical. But yeah, for me, Core Vitals is like part of the technical SEO job. I generally like the tech SEO, and Core Vitals is obviously something what we consider when working with our clients a lot because this is a ranking signal.
Nice. Yeah, about that, like there always was a little bit of confusion about core vitals being a ranking signal, ranking factor. We've always like we communicate everything in core vitals, but even we found it hard to like verify it. But recently, Google added it into their documentation, like in their technical docs, I believe, that the core vitals are a ranking signal because there was some stuff happening on Twitter, X, whatever we want to call it, and a small discussion. Have you noticed that since then, clients or maybe fellow SEOs started taking core vitals more serious? Maybe I don't know.
Actually, not exactly. When it comes to clients, for sure, no, because
Okay.
typically we are in touch with the head of marketing or like the marketing
Yeah,
managers, and they come to us for the expertise that they don't have, that they need support with.
makes sense.
So here, definitely no, really. But when it comes to the SEO world, I think there has been a lot of buzz, definitely, especially on
Yeah.
LinkedIn. Like everybody was talking about this, but does it really have the impact on how people are approaching this? If people are doing something about that? Not, I don't think so actually, because
No, I
most
wasn't
people still
expecting
like
it either.
go for the lighthouse things, right? Like lighthouse metrics, and then they like, oh, everything is 100, we're good.
Yes. Yeah. That's a topic we should discuss as well during this podcast or podcast. I was thinking, like, should we call it a podcast? Technically, it is, but there are too many podcasts around, so I still have to come up with a cooler name for it. So yeah, now I know, and I already knew that you were optimizing core web vitals, like maybe more like the translation layer between insights and developer. Do you also do stuff yourself, like maybe if you have a client working in WordPress where you have access to their dashboarding, do you also make some tweaks in the maybe with the plugin, for example, or is this really you always assigned to a developer?
It's typically assigned to a developer or the responsible
Yeah.
person from the client side. We are more navigating here and consulting when it comes to the technical SEO specifically.
All right, thanks. And yeah, when optimizing core vitals, there are different approaches. Like some people indeed start with the lighthouse score. This is a good start if you don't have enough page views for Chrome User Experience Report. Like if you go to pagespeed.web.dev, there's always like this top sector with core vitals failed or passed, hopefully passed, and down there there's a whole diagnostics of performance, SEO, accessibility, and progressive web app, I believe. I'm not sure about the last one. How do you start? Like, um, maybe you work with a lot of bigger clients that always have field data, or do you sometimes find yourself struggling with the fact that there is no actual data of real users?
So typically, core web vitals check is one of the smaller checks that I do within the big technical SEO audit.
Yeah.
So I have like a huge checklist that I created, and I go through all kinds of topics like crawlability, indexability, page experience, core web vitals, of course, JS. I also check that, and
Oh,
the
nice.
international SEO. And this definitely helps me to see the holistic picture, because then you can actually see that sometimes one thing in like the other aspect of technical SEO is impacting your core web vitals and
Okay.
stuff. And yeah, I have like a set of metrics, a set of things that I'm checking for the core web vitals. And when it comes to tools, like yeah, definitely I'm using the PageSpeed Insights. And
Good.
typically our clients have the data because we are working specifically like on the particular type of the of business. It's B2B SaaS,
Okay.
and they need to be on the certain level so we can actually grow them. We don't start from the very beginning, but we
Okay.
already start from something.
Nice.
Yeah, and then we just typically have already some field data with which we can work. But for those who
Yeah.
doesn't have it, it's still good to look at the lighthouse numbers, because behind the numbers, below the numbers, there are actually a lot of hints that the tool is giving you. And then
Yeah.
if there are a lot of red hints, then
Yeah.
something is really wrong.
Yeah. So yeah, that's basically what I have had some discussions with the team at Google or on LinkedIn with people about the Lighthouse score, and yeah, obviously it is a good starting point, and I will never deny that. And especially if you not have room data or field data, because you need a certain amount of page views for this. There's not really any specific about the number of page views you need. We've assumed that it's around 400 on a single page to get data for this. But yeah, definitely, if you have a lighthouse score or a small site which does not have enough data, you can either start with RUM, then you can collect even if you have one page view. But mainly people are using Lighthouse to get started, and I find it a really nice conversation starter because even though we are RUM tool, Lighthouse is making our lives a little bit harder from time to time because we have to convince people that it's not a ranking factor. Lighthouse does not matter for user experience, but real users do, and this is where field data comes in. So I'm happy to hear that you. I already knew that obviously, but it's good to hear that you have the right focus on this. Any other tools I know because there are a lot of tools on the web like Lighthouse, GT Metrics, Pingdom, web page tests. Personally, I'm a big fan of web page tests because I'm a nerd on the page speeds matter, and I love to really dive into it. Do you have any other tools you like to use?
Actually, you already listed them.
You also look at web page test?
Yeah, I really like the
Oh,
web page
cool.
test. It's pretty detailed. Some of the things are, of course, pretty advanced, so I often have like to Google like around different topics, but it's definitely very helpful. And yeah, of course, like the Screaming Frog, because there you can also through the API can connect
Oh,
to
yeah.
Google Search Console and like see directly the data for your pages.
Yeah. I actually never have used Screaming Frog, but maybe that's too advanced for me to use a tool like Screaming Frog, but I should definitely look into how they are using it. But I think they just hook it up with the Search Console API or the Crux API, and then okay, oh, awesome. I should read into this more. So yeah, core web vitals optimizations, multiple tools, different expectations. Do you like when it's part of your technical SEO audit, as you mentioned? Like, do you set goals for core web vitals as well, or is it more like, yeah, it's nice if we get it, but it's not mandatory, for example?
So in the business world, you need to work with the goals, and you also need to explain to your stakeholders why do you actually need to work and do anything for something like Core Web Vitals page experience. So let's start from the second part, like why the stakeholders matter in this whole thing.
Yeah,
I think that's a very important topic to raise here because yeah, very often people come to you, they don't really know this kind of topics, they don't have the expertise, they want you to guide them through the topic, but at the same time you also need to convince them why is this important. And here, like, I always start, or we always start with the topic of the user experience, which is super important. And then we always link it to the revenue, because if the user experience is good and users are staying longer on the page, then there is also, with all other factors like content and stuff, there is a higher possibility to convert. And that's how the whole conversation starts. And
yeah,
we build like the trust also with the technical audit, the detail to which we are doing that. And yeah, then always when we're checking the core web vitals, we're like assessing where we are, then what
yeah,
we need to do. So we are assessing the status quo. We definitely have some problems there. Like, I've never seen a website that didn't have problems with imagery, which is like a pretty basic thing for me, but
yeah.
it's always there.
Okay.
And yeah, like, there is a set of issues. We define the priorities, what needs to be fixed ASAP as the top priority. And then, yeah, goals can be different, can be
Yeah.
like metric style goals, like improve the CLS, so you are passing the CLS, for example,
Okay.
or by X amount. I don't know, when it comes to time to first byte for one client, we were working on that. It's web performance metric, super complicated, a lot to
Yeah.
do. And then we were saying, okay, reach this number. So we were like, let's say like at 1.4, and we wanted to reach like at least like 1.2.
Nice.
So this what we were measuring against. And also sometimes it's about the particular pages. They, like for example, the booking a demo page, something super, super important
Yeah.
in the buyer journey as a touch point. And very often these pages have all kinds of forms that
Oh,
are loading, and you
I
can
know.
really see how they are loading and causing the CLS and all kinds of other issues. And there is nothing else on the page. There's just this form, but it's like
Yeah.
completely messing up the whole performance and impacting like generally the domain. So
Yeah.
we also prioritize based on the pages and say, okay, for this month we absolutely need to fix the demo page to make sure the experience is good there, and then we also like proceed to the other pages, let's say so. And reporting, definitely reporting. So we are. I'm a big fan of reporting. So before the RAM Vision, and actually still with the RAM Vision, I typically have like a spreadsheet where I just pull the data into, because I need to share it with the stakeholders. Nobody will go into the tool
No,
and
that makes sense.
yeah, and check the data. And I'm pulling it out, and then I can share it on my monthly meetings with the clients, or just send a screenshot in the in some chat, just like
Nice.
show the result on the constant basis.
So
What do you
yeah,
see with
like
the other clients of yours? Do they report the core vitals actually? I'm really curious.
yeah, like we work with dev agencies are the ones that are logging in most of the time, but also SEO people because yeah, as you said, I love reports. I believe almost 90% of the SEO people love reporting. So this is actually something we are trying to improve as well from Run Vision's side by making a better reporting dashboard, for example. This is a work in progress, obviously. But yeah, I see a lot of people making a change on their website. Then I'm talking specifically about developers that have, I don't know, finished a sprint, added a new template, maybe added a custom form on the demo page. Then they create an annotation in Room Vision, and after the annotation or after 2 days, they will check back at the data and see, I don't know, maybe the interaction to next page because you added JavaScript to your page skyrocketed because of this form. And then it's actually up to them to decide. We always advise, yeah, as you know, we are really happy to help clients by advising them because we can actually see which third parties make a certain impact. We use a Google API for this, which I'm not going to cover it during this podcast, but it's really awesome because it can now finally show us the impact of third parties in real life. So we had some clients, I'm not going to name drop, but using third party A, but we noticed that third party B was the better performing solution. I'm not saying that the whole solution is better, but I'm just judging from a performance point of view, and they were better. And because they are on top of mind for performance, they decided to switch to third party B. And from this, we mainly see people creating screenshots from Room Vision or exporting a timeline, for example, and then adding this to a report or on their weekly. It really depends on how the structure is within a company. SEO people are the ones often asking me to do a double check on their reports, like maybe get a little bit more fancy data or a better view of the data. All right, we had a little break because I messed up as a rookie podcaster, but we're back. So I've totally forgot which question I should follow up with. But yeah, we covered reporting, all this fun stuff. But imagine you have this client who's going to fix core web vitals, and now everything is green. Websites change every day, like every week. It really depends on what the company does. But therefore, core web vitals can already also change, like marketer adds, I don't know, a heat mapping tool, which might lead to higher IMPs. We all know the struggle. Sorry, marketers. How do you make sure that the optimizations or the core vitals stay in the green and that this remains a topic that's on the radar?
Oh yeah, that's a very, very good question. Because what recently happened to me is that we were working on the core web vitals. We improved something, but it's very, very challenging topic there. In terms like it's really challenging optimizations that we need to do. And then we reached a little bit of improvement, and then the client rolled out a banner.
Okay, I'm already scared.
And then the CLS just from green turned completely red on all pages.
Uh-oh.
Completely killed the little progress that we had.
Wait, was it like a banner that like came in from the bottom or just a pop-up or something?
The banner on the very top of the page, like above the fold, above
Oh,
the
okay. Top bar, I think
yeah,
people
yeah.
call it. Okay.
And then it was pushing the whole content
Yeah,
down.
I've had this a lot of times as well. Okay, how did
How
you
do you
fix
fix?
it though?
Yeah, I was just asking you. So how we did it, like actually because of the way the website is built, it was not possible to do a proper solution there. So we did a little bit of work around, and we played with, or actually developer played with CSS a bit. So they set up a
Yeah.
container over there to just reserve a bit of space for the different devices. Of course, you can't cover all the devices, but then you can see like most of the devices that people are using, and like the screen size you can also define from that. So we just set some media, I guess, stuff
Yeah.
for that, and that helped definitely.
Okay.
So that cut down the CLS issue in half from
Nice.
what it was, but it didn't fix it. So there were still like this minimal shifts that
Yeah.
Google was able to snap, and yeah, we were not able to fix it completely. And then in the end, we took down the banner.
Okay. Nice. No, from a performance perspective, removing stuff often results in better results, but yeah,
Yeah.
obviously we cannot delete really important stuff. For example, if this banner contained like 99% sale, it would not be smart to remove it. But what I often try to do for this kind of stuff is like it's pretty much CSS. It already also depends on how this banner get loaded. Like it can be one JavaScript that injects another JavaScript and then causes to be late during the page load. So then obviously it will push down everything. But by setting a min height, so minimal height with CSS, will make the browser know that there's coming something right there. So yeah, this is kind of a smart technique for CLS. Like even with images, you used to set, or I hope people set height and width element, and by classifying this, the browser will know that there will be an image there, and then it keeps this space available. So for a banner, I obviously or often try to look for setting min height, so min dash height in CSS, but removing it can be a faster solution.
Yeah, not always the
Um,
case. And actually, what I would want to add here is something that might be interesting for the SEO people. The lowering metrics, or actually like the deteriorating metrics, in the deteriorating CLS metric, actually had impact on rankings here. And that's why
oh,
I was like really insistent on fixing that. We could immediately see that the homepage really suffered, and it went like 2 positions down for the main business keyword. And then we were fixing the banner. We fixed it, and several weeks later, the page was back where it was, and it was just a banner, nothing else. And I noticed that
good.
with my clients that this kind of things with imagery or just with the CLS, the real core vitals, they actually have impact on the rankings. Not always
Yeah.
like really direct one, and not always like super obvious and super visible, because obviously there is a lot of work going on
Yeah.
with the website. But in this case, I could really see the impact of that in the rankings before the banner and after the banner.
Oh wow. I've actually never had a case like this. This might even be because I don't have access to our client's search console and stuff. Um, I'm always a little bit careful with SEO people and core fights and ranking because I am not a SEO and I don't want to make wrong claims. This is really interesting. So it was a CLS that was green at first, so below zero point 0.1, but the banner made it go to like 0.15-ish or something like that.
0.40-ish.
Oh, wow. That's actually weird because okay, I'm curious about this case. And yeah, about ranking. Interesting topic. Core Web Vitals and ranking. Like, there's a lot of written articles about it. Like John Mueller, always sometimes joins a conversation about Core Web Vitals, and I think he's the one that had a great explanation that it is more of a tiebreaker, and I really like this explanation. So, if you have competitor A and B, and every content, every other ranking thing is the same, but one has the worst core vitals, then the other one will probably outrank them for a specific keyword. How do you like that explanation that it is more of a tiebreaker?
So definitely the explanation is reflected in the real world. In most of the cases, it's about a lot of different factors, and primarily about the content. The content is the most important. We still see clients that have bad core vitals, but they have very, very good content, and then they still rank very high.
Yeah, definitely.
But in the very competitive areas, let's not name the keyword because it will be very obvious. But in the competitive areas, indeed, what is visible is that core web vitals. This was actually the case for this banner. The core web vitals was a little bit of this competitive advantage, the solution that was helping us to go ahead of some clients. And obviously, the product that they have is like super good, super nice, and they were, yeah, with this little shift in the core web vitals, we were noticing like this is going down, this is going up. But yeah, I totally like think that there are other more important things. That's why technical optimization and core web vitals are very, very hard to justify often in the SEO world.
Okay. In the meantime, I got some attention from our kitten. A kitten. What's she going to do?
This is what's gonna win the rankings, you know?
Yeah. Put images of cats in your blog. Make sure to set the width and height. Don't lazy load it above the fold, and you are golden.
Yeah, please.
So yeah, like in my opinion, like core web vitals are more than SEO. Like we are not winning clients for SEO, but it's more of an overlapping thing. Most of our clients, I'm not denying that it has to do anything with SEO, by the way, it's just the approach from our clients. They often look at this as a UX metric, like better core web vitals means better UX, which can result in better conversions, better bounce rate, more add to carts, for example. Just like you mentioned, if you have a case where the demo page has maybe bad core web vitals, but the demo page is not the one skewing the average core web vitals results to be low, you would still focus on the demo page first because this is the one that needs the best user experience, so people book a demo. Let me think out. So in terms of prioritization, would you focus on UX first or SEO first when you're talking about core vitals, or a mixture of both? Like, how do you define priority for certain pages?
So SEO is basically UX for me. I don't think in terms of search engines. I think in the modern world that's not right. It's about the users and the user experience, and there are different components of the user experience which then create this SEO, and that is of course the content, the quality of the pages, like what is it about and everything, the product itself.
Yeah.
And then user
Right.
experience, super important. Like if people not having the good experience on the website is slow, all of the things are pushed down when you already want to click on something, or
We
you
love
you
that.
cannot navigate. This all impacts the user experience, and then users are bouncing, and then this doesn't reflect in the business revenue. So I'm looking always from the perspective of users, and then
Nice.
of course this is all under the hood of SEO and the big picture of SEO, but technical should be there, and the good technical foundations are enabling the website to achieve the organic goals.
Yeah.
I think this is something what is super important to mention here.
Nice. I really like this answer. Like, this is something I would quote, print out, and put on a poster probably, because this is also my view and our company's view on it. A lot of clients as well, because yeah, for e-commerce, UX has even more benefits for direct revenue.
I think what's important to add here is the younger generation, so Gen Z, are becoming decision makers.
Yeah,
And
I'm Gen Z, so be careful.
okay,
Are you Gen Z as well?
no, I'm still like from the
Wait,
older
when?
times.
Gen Z year. I'm Googling. Okay, between 1997 and 2012. I'm born in 1999, so I'm representing Gen Z, Sasha, be careful. No, just kidding.
Okay, then I'm gonna ask you a question.
Yeah, okay.
how do you feel about the website that is like super slow? The images are loading for forever, but you want to buy something at this website. So you found a sports bag, you want to buy it. You found a cool website, the cool brand. You get to this website, and then
Yeah,
everything takes forever to load. You are trying to explore different options, but nothing works out. Then some pop-ups are appearing, and then everything is blocked. And then at the end, the whole screen is blocked, and then you cannot scroll down. How do you feel
you're
about
trying
that?
to make me angry. No. Yeah, and I might be a little bit biased answering this question, but yeah, the thing is like if I go to Google and I search for a specific New Balance shoes, like a New Balance 1234 XY, a specific model, I will first come across a lot of shopping ads probably. Um, I am not the person that's going to scroll through Google endlessly. So shopping would be my first pick to go compare the prices. I'm just doing this in a split second in my head. But let's say I see the New Balance store themselves and they have the best price. I will click it. And yeah, what you're saying, like if all this stuff happens or the time to first byte, so the server response and large contentful paint take ages, then I will go back to Google immediately, especially if there's like layout shifting happening as well. And actually, I had this discussion with the team as well. I'm actually willing to spend, I don't know, up to €5 more if I'm able to do a fast checkout without any nonsense. Because yeah, I like to reward websites that work on web performance and make sure this is like um, they are really good. But yeah, like I think this is a good point you're trying to make about Gen Z. Like that I describe it as the TikTok generation. I don't have TikTok for a reason like this as well. Like I don't want to live this fast-paced world. Like I'm happy to take time for certain stuff, but for shopping, yeah, I definitely go to the fastest website, unless. So this is a point my colleagues makes always like on Black Friday, I'm willing to wait a minute for a good price. So on Black Friday, your website can be horrible in terms of page speed. As long as you have the best price, users will wait. But on the other, yeah, I don't know, 364 days of the year, this is not the case. So make sure your website is fast on these days as well. So yeah, that's a really nice question from you. You're taking over, nice.
Valuable
Uh,
content here.
yeah, really cool. Yeah, this is something we already covered. I had this question like, how do you prioritize Core Web Vitals approach? Like, if you have a product or a homepage or homepage that has really bad Core Web Vitals, but you also have a demo page. Let's sketch an image where this demo page has like 10 page views and the homepage has 100, and they both have equal the bad Core Web Vitals. Which one would you optimize first, like the homepage or the demo page?
Oh, it really depends on the business goals. So sometimes you need to enable sales, and
Yeah,
then you go for the demo page.
yeah,
Sometimes you need to see. You also need to assess what kind of issue is there. If the issue is really complicated, and it's going to take forever to fix, and before that, you need to find the devs who are going to fix that, because the devs, like not everybody can fix things, especially when it comes to like DevOps stuff. Like it's complicated. Yeah, this would also be a criterion to consider. Then also
yeah,
where most of the traffic comes. Yeah, as you said, like you said that homepage has more views and the demo page obviously has lower views. In some cases, yeah, you go for the page that has biggest amount of traffic. So if the main traffic source for the website is, for example, blog, then very often the journey of the potential client starts with the blog,
yeah.
from the blog,
Good point. Yeah,
and we need then to make sure that the blog is good and
yeah,
prioritize that, and then consequently like come to other pages, as we can see, like okay, people are navigating from here to there, and like we are trying to collect things, and some pages just like they just can stay as they are, because
yeah,
they are just like a small piece of the user journey, but the time investment and the effort are not worth the result.
yeah. It's actually something I thought about, but mapping the user journey before starting to work on Core Web Vitals might be really smart. It's actually pretty obvious, but I never specifically thought about it this way. So yeah, thank you again.
Sure, it's not easy actually.
No, it's definitely really hard. I'm just imagining it right now, like how, but
Yeah, it's a process, and not every client can do it. Not every tool can do it. But yeah, you can definitely get the insights. And in
definitely.
case like you cannot afford the tool because the tool is expensive, or like setting up the tool is taken forever, there are always like these platforms where you can pay a certain amount of users to do the live tests for you and like see how they are navigated, and based on that make your conclusions.
Okay, oh, nice. Yeah, I might write something about this as well. Unless you are going to, then I'm stealing your content. No, just kidding. Yeah, mentioning tools, like there are endless tools for every solution. Like I was looking up for podcast recording software because I'm lazy and I wanted to automatically, I don't know, transcribe it, make it easy to edit within the platform. So I was doing some research for tools and I found this one. I'm not going to give them free promotion. But SEO tools are maybe the most popular tools that exist on the internet. Like in the e-commerce world, SEO tools are obviously have the biggest market share. What is your favorite one? Like for all the SEO people that might watch it, what is your go-to tool that you won't or that you always need for your client?
So definitely Google Search Console,
Nice. And
analytics.
that's
Like,
free.
yeah, I want to have the data from the users. Then Screaming Frog, an absolute must. So I need a crawler, and so far Screaming Frog has been my favorite one. And then like the additions depending on the things that you need to do. So for the keyword research, SEMrush and Ahrefs.
Okay.
Then for technical, for the Core Web Vitals, I like your tool, Rumvision.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. And PageSpeed Insights, of course, using that, and Lighthouse, and of course the dev tools in the browsers, like useful thing. Web page test we already mentioned with you. Yeah, and I guess like for everything you can find the tool now. The ChatGPT, is it a tool?
Yeah, I would describe it as a tool.
Yeah.
Are you using it? Have you been using it? Like I have.
Yeah, for sure. Not for content creation. I don't find it
No.
like really like not good. You cannot create a decent content for the B2B area
No.
with this. It's in the end, it's not authentic. But for like to make my life easier with the formulas, oh,
Definitely. Yeah.
Excel, just sometimes I will break my head like researching the formula, and then you just go in ChatGPT, you describe the problem, it pops up the formula, you say, okay, this formula doesn't work, it pops up with another one, and you can do this endlessly until the formula works. Love that.
Yeah. I love it as well. Like even for web performance, I found it actually really useful. I know someone from Google made preset for the interaction to next paint. So interaction to next paint, chatbot for ChatGPT, I believe. So just feeding the, I don't know if it's called the bot, the nuances about the IMP, so it makes sure that it gives the correct answers. But even for web performance, like sometimes I pick Gemini over ChatGPT because I believe ChatGPT is a little bit outdated and web performance evolves insanely fast. So ChatGPT output might be not really useful for me, but things like caching headers, like I'm just copy pasting my cache header from the network panel into ChatGPT and ask it to read it, summarize it, and if I want to achieve this and that, what would you advise me to do? Because yeah, I don't know everything as well. Like I work with web performance all the time, but caching is something, or headers. Oh my god, it's so hard. And ChatGPT actually helped me a bit with this, and I hope the output of it was correct. Otherwise, clients might be fucked. Just kidding. So yeah, a lot of tools. AI era. Yeah, I think it's here to stay. Kittens are going crazy right here. Yeah, so you're definitely or you're a SEO. What is something you love to see other SEOs do as well? Like you are, maybe this is a kind of awkward question for you to answer because you are not the SEO god in your perspective. But if you can just say something like, this is something a lot of SEOs are not doing, but definitely could look into or study, for example, what would you then say?
I'd say that technical SEO doesn't bite.
Okay, good one.
There are so many websites where there is obvious SEO work done, a lot done with the content and stuff, but they are still not there when it comes to the user experience. So I think looking a little bit into that and just using the hints from the tools like PageSpeed Insights or Lighthouse is already gonna extend the level of service that SEO is providing tremendously, and then also show more of the expertise. So this is what I would want to see a little bit more, and obviously more of the reporting on different topics that people actually communicate about things in the transparent way. I, for example, always tell my clients, okay, this is a ranking signal. We will most probably not see that this is the impact on the rankings. It's in rare cases you can
Yeah.
connect the A with B, but this is something what is super important for XYZ, and that's why we should do it. That's a foundation for the best user experience. That is often not happening. In the SEO world, things are just done for the sake of doing, and then clients end up with the bad user experience from their end, like customer experience. They don't know what's happening or why we are doing this, why we're investing so much time, and then there is no result. They don't see the result, but there is result. If you are
Yeah.
presenting the result in the right way, with the right context, that's what's helping.
Nice. And I definitely agree. Like, it's hard to give, to guarantee something for web performance. It's hard to guarantee that if your website is faster, you will earn or you will make 10% more revenue. I would be an idiot if I'm going to say this. So it's really hard to make guarantees, but with data like metrics like the core vitals, things got really measurable. Like if the LCP is better, then an image will appear faster, which I can do the math will make the user more likely to stay. And yeah, that's the good thing about this stuff as well. Like sometimes I wish I could make some more guarantees, but I never do because yep, it's also expectation management. So list of questions here, and I think we've covered most of them.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you have something you like to add yourself about? I don't know, SEO, technical SEO, core vitals.
Oh wow. I
This
actually
is your
think that
time to shine.
I think we had a really good conversation, and we actually touched a lot of very important topics that no one talks about, like reporting, measuring, iterating on things, or maybe actually iterating. That's what we didn't, or did we cover it? We did not. The iteration of the on the core vitals. That how do you ensure that core vitals are sustained?
Yeah, we rephrased some questions at the beginning. So it was a
Yeah.
question about making sure it's like core vitals are not a one-stop
Oh yeah.
thing.
Sorry to
Like
interrupt you. I mean, like in terms that things are changing and you need to check the website regularly. So
that's a good point you're trying to make, and the thing with you know this as the best, but crux data or data in Search Console and PageSpeed Insights is always a little bit delayed, like 28 days until you have fresh data. So if I work on my personal website today and I work at RunVision, so I have RunVision integrated with it, so lucky me. But imagine I accidentally add something or forget to add width and height images on an image on my blog. I will only know that the CLS, so the layout shifting, is messed up 28 days later. So having the right tooling is definitely, yeah, it's a time saver and a money saver. Like for big e-commerce companies that do millions in revenue a month, a subscription for a tool, like no matter what tool, can save you money in the end. Like if you notice a problem in real time and can fix it in real time, then it's insanely valuable. I think I'm wondering in the SEO industry, like do people know about this delay in this data?
I think most people don't.
Okay, so we have some marketing to do about this as well.
Yeah, for sure. That's the main USP of, like, for me personally, for
Yeah,
Rambushing,
yeah.
is because I can fix something and then already a couple of days later I can see the result, and then only like weeks later I can see the result also reach in Google and reflected in the data, and then it's slowly rolling out. So you see that there is progress, and so I always check Ramvision when it's available with the client because I need to report on the result quickly.
Cool.
And the other tool, I'm still checking the page insights on the monthly basis.
Yeah.
Definitely for all of my clients, I need to know that nothing has really changed there. Sometimes like RUM vision, like you need to go into really details and so on. Like the general view obviously helps, but sometimes I'm checking the particular things.
Okay.
And with the other tool, just like quick test, all done. No two-factor authentication.
Uh, we are working on that. Don't worry.
Not bragging. It's security is important, and yeah, just stay on top of that and use different tools that help you out, not to miss something.
Yeah.
And that's one of the small additions to the success in the topic.
Yeah. And I think you can go a long way with free tools. Like we also have a Core Web Vitals history tool on our website, which there's an API from Google, like Crux History API, that gives you data up to 6 months in the past. So let's say web performance just became a topic in your company today, and you want to see the Core Web Vitals of today. You can actually even see the Core Web Vitals data up to 6 months in the past, and maybe, I don't know, hold it next to your releases and see trace it back when you see a spike, for example, in your interaction to next page. You can ask your developer any idea what you did back then, and then you're already starting to make page speed part of the process in the company, because it's a team effort. Like Sasha knows, like for a SEO, I have to instruct my developers, and I also have to report to stakeholders. So that's already 3 people involved. There's marketeers that find the topic interesting. Like I work with CRO people a lot as well. So there are like 5 to 6 roles that work with Core Web Vitals in my experience. So also don't, yeah, if you want to, you can obviously do it alone, but you can also do it as a team effort and make some processes about it into your company, so it stays on top of your mind, and it's like making sure it's good always will help you save some time if you have to fix issues up to 6 months in the past. So that's a nice add-on, and this tool is completely free. I will probably edit something in the screen as well. But did you know this tool existed?
No, actually, and now I'm really curious. I'm gonna check it out.
Okay. Yeah, just runvision.com, and then under our tool is Core Web Vitals history. But it's pretty cool. It's basically the same as in the tool with competitors. It's the same API, but then you don't need an account and two-factor authentication.
Good one.
Yeah, so definitely worth looking into. So yeah, I really want to thank you for taking your time. Like, I'm sure you had a long day at work and making time for this podcast. Yeah, I appreciate that really much, and I always enjoy working with you on this topic. And I also learn a lot from you. Like, I'm a little bit biased when it comes to web performance. You are actually doing the work. Like, you are making sure web performance actually becomes fixed. So it's really cool to have your thoughts on this, and I think people can also get ideas from you as well, like how is Sasha doing it, maybe this works for me, or I will change it a little bit and do it like this. But in the end, I hope this can teach people how they could do it.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me here, and thank you very much for talking about this important topic. I think we raised like really valuable tips here for the SEO industry and for also non-SEO industry, especially for devs, so they know a little bit more how we think, because they think that we are just crazy.
Yeah,
but,
we are not. I can confirm.
but we're not. Uh, we are just connecting the developers with the marketers and making things work. Yeah,
Yeah,
I hope that this podcast conversation will be useful, and we will do a lot more cool work for our clients
yeah,
together with
nice.
you, because I think we
Yeah,
have
I'm happy to
pretty
help.
cool
It's
success
really nice.
stories now.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, maybe we could publish one in the future. Yeah, thanks again, and see you later.
Thank you.